Hello students, I hope you all are doing good. Today we shall start the chapter Some Basic Concepts of Chemistry. So what is chemistry? Chemistry is defined as the study of the composition, properties and interaction of matter. Chemistry is often called the central science because of its role in connecting the physical sciences, which include chemistry and physics, with the life sciences and applied sciences such as medicine and engineering. So you can understand that chemistry is basically a bridge between physical sciences and the life sciences. So by definition, chemistry is the study of composition, properties and interaction of matter. So what is matter? As you already know, matter is defined as anything that occupies space, possesses mass and the presence of which can be felt by any one or more of our five senses. Matter exists in three states, which are solid, liquid and gas, which you already know about. At macroscopic level or bulk level, matter can be classified as mixtures and pure substances. These can be further subdivided as shown in the chart on your screen. About all these terms shown in the chart, you already know, you have learnt in your previous classes, but we'll just recapitulate it once. Mixture. A mixture contains two or more substances present in it, which are called its components. A mixture may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. In a homogeneous mixture, the components completely mix with each other and its composition is uniform throughout. That is, it consists of only one phase. In a heterogeneous mixture, the components are not uniform throughout and sometimes the different phases can be observed. For example, grains and pulses, along with some dirt, pieces or sand in water, etc. Pure substances. A material containing only one substance is called a pure substance. Pure substance can be further classified into elements and compounds. Elements can be defined as a pure substance that contains only one kind of particles. Depending upon the physical and chemical properties, the elements are further subdivided into three classes: metals, non-metals and metalloids. Compounds. A compound is a pure substance containing two or more than two elements combined together in a fixed proportion by mass. So these are the definitions of. Let us discuss about the properties of matter. Every substance or matter has unique or characteristic properties. These properties can be classified into two categories. One is physical properties and the other one are the chemical properties. Physical properties are those properties which can be measured or observed without changing the identity or the composition of the substance. Some examples of physical properties are color, melting point, boiling point, density, etc. Chemical properties. Chemical properties are those properties in which a chemical change in the substance occurs. The examples of chemical property are characteristic reaction of different substances. These include acidity, basicity, combustibility, etc. So for measurement of physical properties, a chemical change is not required, but for chemical properties, a chemical change in the substance must take place. Physical properties of matter are studied with the help of some physical quantities. All such quantities which we come across during our scientific studies are called physical quantities. For example, density, volume, area, length, speed, velocity, mass, weight, etc. These are all physical quantities or physical attributes of matter. The measurement of any physical quantity consists of two parts. First is the number and two, it is the unit. So number is also known as the magnitude, and secondly the unit which is defined as the standard reference chosen to measure any physical quantity. Now we know that we have many units for representing a single quantity. For example, we can represent length in terms of kilometers, meters, centimeter, etc. So for a single quantity, we have many units. Now in order to standardize the units which can be accepted internationally for documentation, the term SI unit was brought in by the 11th General Conference on Weights and Measurements. SI unit is the abbreviated form of the International System of Units. The SI system has 7 base units and they are listed in the table shown on your screens. These units pertain to the 7 fundamental scientific quantities. The other physical quantities are known as derived quantities, which can be derived by using these 7 base quantities. So let us see one by one what are these 7 base quantities. The first one is the length, which is represented as small l, and the symbol for its SI unit is m, which means meter. For mass, the symbol is, the SI unit is kilogram and the symbol is kg. Time, the symbol is small t, the SI unit is second, and the symbol for the SI unit is s, small s. Fourth base quantity is electric current. The symbol is capital I, the unit is ampere, and the symbol of the unit is capital A. Next is temperature or thermodynamic temperature. The symbol is capital T, the SI unit used is Kelvin, and the symbol of the SI unit is capital K. Base physical quantity number 6th, amount of substance. The symbol is small n, the name of the SI unit is mole, and the symbol is MOL. The last one is luminous intensity. The symbol for luminous intensity is IV. The name of the SI unit is mole candela, and the symbol is MOLCD. So these are the 7 base quantities. Rest all other quantities can be derived by using these 7 base quantities. So let us see some of the examples of derived quantities. Now let us study some derived quantities and how to derive their SI units from the base units. So first let us take the example of area. So the dimensions of area. Now what do we mean by dimension? Dimension is representing the derived quantity in terms of the base quantities. So area in terms of base quantity can be represented as length into length. Now the SI unit for area. Now since the SI unit of length is meter, so meter into meter. So the SI unit will be meter into meter, that is meter square. So the SI unit of area is meter square. Let us take one more example. Let us take the example of velocity. Now velocity can be represented in terms of the base quantities as length by time. Correct? Because we know the definition of velocity, it is distance per unit time. So here we can write it as L by T. So the SI unit of length is again meter and the SI unit of time is second. So the SI unit is meter per second. So the SI unit of velocity is meter per second. Again, let us take one more example, acceleration. Acceleration. So acceleration, we know that rate of change of velocity is acceleration. So velocity is L by T in terms of the base quantities. So rate of change of velocity is acceleration, so into 1 by T. So, or simply we can say L by T into T is acceleration in terms of the base quantities. So what is the SI unit of acceleration will be? So it will be meter by second into second, that is meter per second square. Let us take one last example. Force. Now we know force is F is equal to ma, where a is the acceleration, so and m is the mass. So let us try to represent it in terms of the base quantity. So base quantity for mass is again mass only, small m, and the acceleration is L by T into T. We have just seen it here. So m into L by T into T is the representation of force in terms of base quantities. So the SI unit will be, the SI unit for mass is kg, for length is meter, and for time it is second. So the SI unit will be kg meter per second square, also known as Newton. So this is how we derive the derived quantities from the base quantities. So we have already learned that we have 7 base quantities. So by using these 7 base quantities, we can derive the SI unit of any other quantity, any other physical quantity. In chemistry, since we study atoms and molecules, so we have to deal with extremely large numbers or extremely small numbers, as you can see in the first paragraph on your screen. So sometimes we have to deal with such big numbers containing so many zeros, or some such small numbers containing again so many zeros after the decimal point. So sometimes it becomes very difficult to handle such large numbers, and especially while performing mathematical operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication or division with such numbers. Now in order to make it easy handling such large numbers or small numbers, we use scientific notation. So what do we mean by scientific notation? Scientific notation refers to exponential notation in which any number can be represented in the form capital N into 10 to the power small n, as you can see inside the red box on your screen. So where this small n is an exponent having positive or negative values, and the capital N is a number, or it is also known as the coefficient, which whose value varies between 1.0 to 9.999 and so on. Let us try to understand scientific notation with some examples. Let us try to understand scientific notations with few examples. So here I have taken 2 examples. So as we have already learned from the definition that scientific notation means to represent any number in the form of n into 10 to the power n, where n can be a positive or a negative integer. So here this is the first example, 3, 4, 5, 6 followed by 6 zeros. So first of all, we are going to write this n part, the coefficient part. So since we know that the coefficient varies from 1.00 to 9.99, so here n will be 3.456. So we will place the decimal point after the first digit into 10 to the power. So how many digits before I have placed the decimal point? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 digits. So here it will be 10 to the power 9. So this is the scientific notation of this number. Now let us come to the second example. Here this is a very small number, 0.00000014398. So now in this case, when we want to represent it in the scientific notations form, so again we'll follow the same procedure. We'll place the decimal point after the first non-digit number. So we'll write the coefficient like this: 1.4398 into 10 to the power. Now here the exponent that we are going to write will have a negative value, since all the numbers are after the decimal point. So here I have placed the decimal point here. So how many digits are there before I have placed the decimal point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here the exponent will be 10 to the power minus 6. So this is how we represent any number into as its scientific notation. Now let us learn about how to perform simple mathematical operations like addition and subtraction with scientific notations. So here I have taken one example for addition. The same rule goes for subtraction also. So here the example that I have taken is 1.23 into 10 to the power minus 5 plus 1.45 into 10 to the power minus 6. So before adding these two numbers, the first point that we have to keep in our mind is that we have to make the exponents of both these numbers equal. So here in the first number the exponent is minus 5 and in the second number it is minus 6. So our first job is to make them equal. So let us do that. 1.23 into 10 to the power minus 5 plus 0.45 into 10 to the power minus 5. So now you can see that both the exponents are same. Now we will simply add the coefficients like we usually do and take 10 to the power minus 5 as common. Then we just simply add the coefficients. 5, 1.375 into 10 to the power minus 5. So this is how we perform addition with scientific notations. Similarly, we can perform subtraction also. Next, let us talk about how to perform multiplication and divisions involving scientific notations. In case of multiplying scientific notations, what we do is we simply multiply the coefficients with each other, and for the exponent part, the exponents, they simply get added. So let us do that. So 25 into 25, so we simply multiply the coefficients into 10 to the power minus 3 plus minus 4. You simply add the exponents. So the answer that we get is 625 into 10 to the power minus 7. And in case of division, the exponents, they get subtracted and the coefficient, they simply get divided as they do generally. So let us do that. 25 divided by 5, we just simply divide the coefficients, and for the exponent part, they get subtracted. So 10 to the power minus 7 minus 4. Simply subtraction of the exponents. So 25 divided by 5, 5 into 10 to the power minus 7 minus plus 4. So that means 10 to the power minus 3. So this is how we perform simple mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division with scientific notations. So that's all for today. In our next class, we'll learn about scientific figures, laws of chemical combination and mole concept. So see you in the next class. Thank you and take care.